James, honey, did something happen to you? After we got separated in that long hallway? Are you confusing me with someone else? You were always so forgetful. Remember that time in the hotel?
Maria?
You said you took everything, but you forgot that videotape we made. I wonder if it's still there.
How do you know about that? Aren't you Maria?
Hey everybody, and welcome to my playthrough of Silent Hill 2, a legendary video game and one of my new favorite horror games of all time. This is the original version of Silent Hill 2, not the remake. This version originally came out on the PlayStation 2 and then got about 15 different ports to other platforms. To be more specific about which one I'm playing, this is the PC port of original Silent Hill 2, being played through the fan-made Enhanced Edition mod, which, on top of playing the game in 60 FPS, upscales the cutscenes, adds HD renders for all sorts of images throughout the whole game, basically makes it almost like a modern game while still keeping the original soul intact. A lot of people consider it the definitive way to play Silent Hill 2, and I'd have to agree from what I've seen. I wouldn't consider Silent Hill 2 a very scary game, at least not to play. The gameplay is not that scary at all, aside from the dark environments, I guess. What is scary about the game is its story and themes. I guess I may as well stick a small content warning right here. This game does handle a lot of dark subject matter. I don't want to go into specifics of what exactly so as to not spoil the story, but yeah, there's a lot of dark stuff in here. I'll just leave it at that. I have nothing else to say for this intro, so I guess I'll leave you with this amazing music.
It doesn't matter who I am. I'm here for you, James. See? I'm real.
That sounds like something someone who isn't real would say. I hope that song gives you a taste of the brilliant music to come. This has easily my favorite soundtrack of any horror game. Alright, with that, let's take a look at the Silent Hill 2 Enhanced Edition menu, which does look a little different from the original. The original is a lot darker, and this one adds some blue fiery effects. I kind of like that. New game. We're going to play the main scenario, Letter from Silent Heaven. There is a DLC mode that was added in some of the later releases of the original game, but I know nothing about it. I guess I could play it as a blind playthrough, maybe. I'll think about it, but for now we're going to do the main one. And look at this. The two core pillars of gameplay in Silent Hill 2 are combat and puzzle solving, and the game lets you set separate difficulties for both of them. This is pretty ahead of its time, and not a lot of games do this even to this day. So I kind of like this. As for what I'm gonna choose, I think I'll just go for normal on both. I don't think this is a game that benefits from being harder, even with the puzzles. I'll talk more about what the puzzle difficulty means as we go. Mostly it just means, like, text that describes something changes, but, you know, there are a few differences worth noting, I guess. I don't know, I'll just stick with normal because that's probably what most people are going to play with. Now, let me shut up and introduce you to this brilliant game. Let's go, Silent Hill 2.
Mary, could you really be in this town?
In my restless dreams, I see that town, Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday, but you never did. Well, I'm alone there now, in our special place, waiting for you.
I got a letter. The name on the envelope said, Mary. My wife's name. It's ridiculous. Couldn't possibly be true. That's what I keep telling myself. A dead person can't write a letter. Mary died of that damn disease 3 years ago. So then, why am I looking for her? Our special place. What could she mean? This whole town was our special place. Does she mean the park on the lake? We spent the whole day there. Just the two of us, staring at the water. Could Mary really be there? Is she really alive? Waiting for me?
And so, a sad man ventures into a bleak and lonely town in search for his wife who he knows full well is dead. But he goes anyway. Nice parking job, James. You missed the light. It's over here. What? Can't we get in the car? Can we just fix this real quick? No, we're gonna grab the map of Silent Hill instead. Alright, that's fine. You can view the map with a certain button. Mine is M, but you might be playing with this on controller if you're a normal person. We can see we have a long hike to take before we can enter the town. Well, we also have this road, but... well, as we can see by those dashed lines, we must have parked here for a reason. We have this direction. And let the camera turn eventually. Yeah, it's been blocked off with these rusty metal gates. With the message, "We come!" TMI, I don't need to hear about that. Alright. So if you see up there that sign, Paleville, Brahms, and Old Silent Hill is 50 miles away. Old Silent Hill is where the first Silent Hill game takes place, and that explains why the layout of the town is different in this one. And before I continue, I should probably say, you do not need to know anything about the first Silent Hill to enjoy this one. This one is its own contained story. Can't go any further by car. Guess I'll have to walk. Nah, I don't have to walk. You can run with another button that's probably not going to be the same as yours because, you know. Oh yeah, speaking of control options, I should make it pretty clear right away that you should go into the options and switch the control type to 2D type, is what it's called in the original unenhanced edition of the game. With the rotational type, it becomes tank controls, where you turn with left and right, and then you move forward in whatever direction James is facing. This can work, but it's considerably more awkward and less intuitive than I could totally just access the options from the pause menu, couldn't I? It's a lot less intuitive than the 2D type controls, so I greatly prefer it. While I have the inventory open, I guess we can examine the photo of Mary. This is what Mary looks like. It's good information to know. I think that is actually the lake we've been seeing over the overhang behind her. This is the letter from Mary, and if we read it again, Restless Dreams, Stay There Town, Silent Hill, it's the monologue at the start. We can use it, but not here. The status up there, it was a picture of our current game state, I guess, and it was tinted green. That indicates that we are perfectly healthy. Hello, Butcher Van. Can I spray paint free candy on the side just to mock this guy's choice of vehicle? Nah, I wouldn't do that. Down to Toluca Lake, and the rest of Silent Hill, but it doesn't mention that. It starts like any other horror game would. Or most other horror games would. With a long, slow walk in silence. And without any jump scares. Silent Hill 2 doesn't have any jump scares, so honestly, if you're worried about jump scares, don't be. There are very few startling things in this game. It's all about the dread. Instead, I had nothing else to add to that, so. I'd say let's hurry it up a little bit. I don't want to stay in this area anymore after hearing that. Camera keeps changing. One weird thing is when the camera changes, the directions that James moves in when you press buttons do also change along with it. But if you keep holding the same button you've been going when the camera changes, you will keep going forwards. It's very strange. It's a very strange control scheme to get used to, but once you get used to it, it feels pretty natural, honestly. Okay, can't go up the sides. Gotta follow the road. There are no signs to say you must stay on the path, but I'm sure James is doing it out of the good of his own heart. He seems a kind-hearted man. Got a well here. Let's take a peek. There's something in the well. What's that? Looking at this makes me feel like someone's groping around inside my skull. It gives me a weird feeling. Yes, it is I groping about in your skull, so I can take your memories and your progress and save it to my memory card, or in this case, my SSD within the game's folder. To be fair though, that would be like the ultimate data privacy breach. Could you imagine if someone could just like steal your memories and put it somewhere? That's what the brain chips are gonna do to all of us, isn't it? Got a gate here. Step inside. You can press a button to turn the camera forwards. It doesn't always like doing it, but, you know, with a little persuasion, there we go. With a little persuasion, it'll eventually do what you want. What do we have here? Can you turn forwards? There's something important to see ahead of us. There's gravestones.
Excuse me,
I'm sorry. I
No,
was
it's
just...
okay. I didn't mean to scare you. I'm kind of lost.
Lost?
Yeah, I'm looking for Silent Hill. Is this the right way?
Yeah. It's hard to see with this fog, but there's only the one road. You can't miss it.
Thanks.
But
Yes?
I think you'd better stay away. This town, there's something wrong with it. It's kind of hard to explain, but
Is it dangerous?
maybe. And it's not just the fog either.
Okay,
It's...
I got it. I'll be careful.
I'm not lying.
No, I believe you. It's just... I guess I really don't care if it's dangerous or not. I'm going to town either way.
But why?
I'm looking for someone.
Who is it?
Someone very important to me. I'd do anything if I could be with her again.
Me too. I'm looking for my mama. I mean my mother. It's been so long since I've seen her. I thought my father and brother were here, but I can't find them either. I'm sorry. It's not your
No,
problem.
I hope you find them.
Yeah, you too.
Well then, let's be on our way. Can I read any of these? Nah. Do any of these have names at all? I think there are. There is some text inscribed in some of them. Just can't look at the text. Makes sense. Got the usual graveyard building. Is this just a church? I don't know what these are, but they're always inside these graveyards. I don't know what their purpose is. That's how little I know about the real world. Welcome to my life. Nothing secret back here. There's gonna be no secrets at this point in the game. Not yet, anyway. Is this the lake? Let me check the map, actually. Oh, it is! It's a little divot down at the bottom. Pretty cool. So here's Toluca Lake, and we are headed for the main area of Silent Hill, which is this place right here. There's a red side and a blue side. Are they having a civil war or something? And Rosewater Park is our first objective. It's where we think Mary will be, if she's here. That's a big if. So here you can see the dense fog that really characterizes Silent Hill. This was born out of technical limitations from the PlayStation 1, where they wanted to have open-ended city levels, but the PlayStation 1 can't render all of that, so they have to use draw distance fog in order to make it work. And so they decided to take that in as like an atmospheric element to the game, that the town is covered in fog and you can't see where anything is. It's pretty cool. It's a great example of how technical limitations can enhance a game, or enhance a creative vision more broadly. Hello? Who's there? Slenderman? Nah, he can't be here. I haven't found a page yet. Apparently I'm spooking someone by turning around because they abruptly stop every time I do. Alright, let's face forwards. Come on now. Come on, camera. Stop being so floaty and weird. I'm not even gonna look. It's bait. It's bait. I'm not falling for it. Okay. A car. I guess we're getting close to the city then. Okay, so this chainsaw normally isn't supposed to be here. It turns out that I accidentally began a New Game Plus because I have beaten the game before and I didn't know that I'm apparently locked into it, and now I can only ever play New Game Plus, or at least it seems that way because I looked it up online just now and no one has any useful information on how to play a new game normal again. Like, literally no one has any information, and if they do have information, it's about the Silent Hill 2 remake instead of the original. So I guess this is a New Game Plus run. I didn't intend that. Anyway, we'll just go with it. I'll ignore it. I won't pick that up. That is a weapon you can use. I'm not going to pick it up, though. We're just going to go with the normal stuff. So, funny story about this Silent Hill Ranch sign as we're passing by. One of the ports of this game is known as the HD collection for the Xbox and PS3. Or at least I think, or the Xbox 360 and PS3. And that version had a graphical upgrade, you could call it, and one of the upgrades they made is that this sign is now written in Comic Sans. It's great. Anyway, moving on past that loud-ass chainsaw. Come on, get it out of here. I don't need no stinking chainsaw. I can survive without it. Blue barrels. Not looking. You can't make me. There is some stuff to see off to the side. Not that much, but it's just a bunch of extra decoration that you could miss out on if you ran right past. Water towers. Okay, that single stomp was a little concerning. Still no one here, though. Alright, that's fine. Doop-de-doop-doop-doop. I'm not being stalked. No siree. That's not happening. Why would that be happening? Silly. Why would anyone stalk me? I'm so uninteresting. Big fence here. Ooh, boxes. And a school bus. There's a school here. Good to know. Danger. Keep out. Trespassers will be prosecuted. Yeah, trespassers, you better stay out of here. All we have inside here is a school bus and nothing else interesting, but you will be prosecuted. You don't want to know what kinds of secrets we have going on in the school bus. Hello, extremely polyginated trash bags. I'm not going to harp on this game's graphics. I think this game looks fine for what it is. That's my deal with graphics in games. As long as it works for the game's atmosphere and world, I don't care how a game looks. Just going to continue to ignore those footsteps. I gotta ignore my problems and then they'll go away. Wait a second, actually, I think there is somewhat of a funny sighting. Yeah, it appears there's a second school bus. Oh god, the secrets! I wasn't supposed to know of this! Alright, anyway. There's my dumb joke for you. Let's go through. Keep out, trespassers will be prosecuted. Well, I guess I'm being prosecuted then. That's the real horror of this game. Law enforcement. Trash can with a bunch of newspapers outside. You know, right next to the trash can, you could have just put them in there instead of littering everywhere, guys. Come on. Why do people just leave newspapers all over the place? They read them and then they just drop them on the floor and move on with their life. Ooh, the road is squiggly from this point on. Watch out. Take a look at the map, see how our progress is coming. We're on Wilts Road, and I'm currently looking out at the river, contemplating my life. I mean, honestly, if I were this guy, I would be doing the same. I'd have no idea why I'm going into a foggy town. I was gonna say a foggy town late at night. It is clearly not night. How am I seeing where I'm going if it's night? What does that sign say? Oh, Squiggly Road. That's not even that squiggly. Come on. False advertising. I expected a squiggly road and you gave me a light jaunt. Road construction ahead. I can't make the... Well, yeah, I sure hope it does joke. That's only for road work ahead. Construction area, keep out. That's the real horror of this game. The spreading of construction. I'm really feeling it now because it is summer. It's construction season. Turn left into the Roadrunner. Where's the coyote? Maybe we have to find the coyote for them. Nope, can't walk past these cones. No siree, can't just knock them down and continue on past. Nope. James is too much of a good Samaritan to ignore cones. There's green grass in there. To be honest, that's kind of a rarity in this game, so that's cool to see. This is probably the most well-cared-for freaking plantation in the entire town. And then it has that rusty house in the middle of all of it, kind of ruining the vibe. But aside from that, okay, we have finally arrived into the town. We just came off of Wilts Road, and now here is Sanders Street. Let's take a look around. Meet the locals. Maybe have a bite to eat. I'm feeling a little hungry. Sorry for stammering over my words there, stumbling over them. Something like that. Some equivalent word. What's that there? A first aid kit? That's not my idea of lunch, but I guess it'll do. Yep, we just got a healing item. You know what that means. There's gonna be a reason to use it. Phone. I mean, I did mention that there are weapons in this game earlier by ignoring the chainsaw, but, you know. Car can't get inside of it. Danger, construction area, keep out. Seen that before. 5550808. If that's someone's license plate number in real life, I am so sorry for sending a hitman after you. You know, of all the 2 viewers watching this video, one of them is a hitman. That would be a very strange coincidence. So, something that might feel a little disappointing if you're coming from the Silent Hill 2 remake is that you are not able to explore the majority of the buildings in this town. Something the remake does is, across the whole game, it adds a lot of extra stuff to each area, and in the case of the Silent Hill town itself, you can go into a lot of the buildings in that version. Here, though, you can walk up, take a look inside at the low-res textures of the interiors, but that's about it. Celebrating 70 years. Your business. Something, something, your business. 70 years of a flower shop. That is worth celebrating, man. Not a lot of people live to be 70 years old. Actually, a lot of people do live to be 70 years old. What am I saying? I guess not a lot of businesses live that long. Bless you. Are these marks blood? That shadow just now. Shall we be like an idiot horror movie protagonist and follow it? I think so. First though, let's look at the buildings on the side. Just in case, you know. That one's got a cracked window. Kind of use the camera button to see a little bit higher. Does that say Phoenix Body? Phoenix Body. Phoenix Auto Body. It's a car repair shop, I'm pretty sure. Losed. I know it's this close. It's hard to notice to see, so I always read it as losed. Exchange. There are all kinds of, like, fake shops along the sides of the town. It's really cool the level of detail the developers went into here. We got some apartment buildings, some residential areas on this side. Not much else to see, though, I don't think. Welcome. Welcome, new galaxy. Nothing there. Nothing there. Gonzalez's Mexican restaurant. That shadow just now bothers me. So yeah, James will not allow you to take him anywhere else in the town until we follow that shadow and see where it's going. So I guess nothing else to do. Let's do that. I think this side of the street has more interesting stuff in general. Ooh, another creepy van. Red door. Doesn't seem to go anywhere. More of that trail of whatever that is. Probably blood. Caution, 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 caution. Yeah, I can't pass through here. You know, the impenetrable freaking police tape. 576. This is Cafe Texan. I think these are marked on our map. We were checking again. Yeah, all these buildings have names now that we're actually in the town, so we can see the names of all these places. Woodside Apartments, Blue Creek, Silent Hill Savings Bank, Pet Center. It's just a normal freaking town. What's so scary about it? Funny thing I noticed is if you go to this side, this payphone has its textures reversed. Nice job, devs. Thought you could slip that past me, but unfortunately for you, I'm playing it with the HD mod on, and I can see that clearly. Here we have this little monument right here. Here we have this thing right here. Yes, that's how you talk. Something is written on it. Too bad I can't read it because the surface has been rubbed away. Remains of swamp. The earth of land surround his monument was originally swamp, but was later field. Fring ago, nicknamed Blood Swamp because the Urs poured the wats to watch the exils in here. Perhaps it's Fohat many Pim seem to have in the area. Okay, let's reread it again and try to understand it seriously. Remains of something swamp. The Sunderland monument originally swamp was later filled by something for long ago. I don't know. It was nicknamed the Blood Swamp because people poured something wash execution. I don't know, something about maybe executors washing blood away into the swamp, and perhaps it's for that reason many people saw ghosts in the area. That's most likely. I'm sorry, I have to get all of my jokes and my, snarky quips out early because later on in this game, there's not going to be a lot of room for them. Okay, let's continue down the rest of the road. Oh. Well, damn, this is some sinkhole, isn't it? You'd think this would be on the news. Maybe if we read the newspapers, we could have been warned that this happened. It's weird how there's absolutely no one around, though. And it's weird how there's absolutely no one here trying to fix this issue. We haven't heard a single person. You'd also think there would be lights on in the middle of the fog so you could at least see where you're going, but nah, guess not. Well, here is where this trail of something leads to. Right past the sold coop. It's, okay, that's solid coop. Solid coop? Metal products. I'm sure that makes sense to people who actually work with metal. But as someone who does not work with metal, it doesn't make sense to me. Open this gate for the somewhat pointless loading screen. Maybe they didn't have the collision of this room loaded until we got on the other side. I guess it's not a loading screen, really. It's like a fade to black. Here we have another one of these red papers we can save at. Now, funny thing is, in the PC version of Silent Hill 2, you can just pause the game and save from the pause menu whenever you want, and there's even a quick save button. I think the original PS2 version, you did have to use these red papers, but in this version, you do not. That said, I'm still going to use the red papers because I feel like it. And besides, there's plenty of them all over the place. It's no problem. FPC. Very cool. Let's get out of this and keep going. Can we turn the camera? Thank you. I like running straight into the fog, having no idea what's on the other side. I just say, I would like to walk around as James more to kind of build the tension, but he walks so damn slow. I feel like running everywhere we go. That's why I've been doing it very often. There's a sign on this door. Caution, watch speed. Oh no, I have to watch the speed limit. I guess I shouldn't be running around. I guess I should be walking this slow all the time. You gotta watch your speed around these parts, or else the policeman. Cat Icarus reference. I recommend watching Cat Icarus's videos, if you're old enough. He makes a lot of weird jokes, but that's why I love it. I have no idea what that says. I see open, and like, I don't know, girls? Is that what it says? I don't know, can't tell. Lots of logs to the side there. And some static. Not coming from us, is it? No, okay, it's a little directional. It is this way. Check it out. Having uncovered this new monstrosity, it's time for our first taste of combat. Hold a button to ready your weapon, and then press the action button to swing. And then, keep doing it until they fall.
Is it dead? What the hell is it? It's not human.
Well, kind of looks like human, maybe a deformed human? I'm unsure. Here's our main weapon, the stick with nails in it. The wooden plank with nails on one end. Not very powerful, but easy to use. In addition, we've also picked up this radio. It emits static when monsters are nearby. If you want, not only can you adjust the volume of the radio, of the static, but you can even turn the radio off in case you just don't want the static to play for whatever reason. You can always do that as like a little hard mode, I guess, because then it won't warn you about oncoming danger. Not that you really need the warnings, but it is an option, and I think it's kind of neat that they included that. Dead. Could it have been that creature? What else do you think killed this? You saw it eating you saw it eating this corpse. What do you mean, could it have been this creature? What's going on in this town? That's a fair question to ask, though. I won't be all snarky on that one, though. I said though twice in a row.
Oh, yeah. This thing broken? What the? I'd better take it anyway. I might need it.
Not much of a reaction to hearing your own name? Or at least the first part of it? No? Alright. Fair enough. If you don't think it's important, then I don't either. We're leaving a trail of bloody footprints after that battle. Kind of cool detail. Okay, well... now we know something's wrong here. Let's see if we can find some help. Find another living soul, perhaps. Like that girl at the graveyard. While we're at it, though, let's stop and save. Look into the red. And have your memory stolen from you. Or whatever kind of excuse I have made up before. About what's happening when you're being saved. When you're saving the game, I mean. Okay. There's more. There's more where that one came from. And the static will start playing every time they're near, as we've been over. Alright, so, okay, that's been damaged already. But hey, I can't say I didn't expect that. The combat is kind of hard at this point in the game, honestly. So now, whenever you down an enemy, they won't die immediately. You have to run up to them and then interact with their body to kick them, and that will finish them off. Okay, avoid the vomit, then go in and smack. Once you get one hit on them, they're kind of stun-locked. And then you could just repeatedly tap it, and okay, knock down, and now kick, finish it off. But we did get hit that first time, so if we check our menu, we can see the status is no longer green, and it's a little staticky. And that's your indication. Take a drink, and you'll be back to full. Drinks heal the least, medkits heal a little more than that, and then it goes on. Nothing here. I do want to avoid getting hit as much as possible, though, because I do not have a lot of health. And, unfortunately, that's going to be easier said than done when all you have is this little plank. Let's check our map. We've been down here, and as we can see, James has actually been noting stuff down. That red square is where the red paper to save your game is. And then there's those scribbles. Those scribbles indicate that is a blocked path you cannot go down. Now that we have seen what that shadow was, James should be okay with exploring the rest of the town. So I say we go down to Sanders Street and work our way, from there. While we're at it, we're gonna have yet more monsters to fight. Oh god, okay, it's coming right for me. Vomit! I think that's supposed to be vomit. It looks like it could also just be a case of bad breath. You never know. Alright. Kick you down. Now, if we look carefully at them, they seem to be wearing some kind of high-heeled boots. Or just high-heeled shoes, I guess. Strange. Alright. So I guess they are kind of human. At least they're mimicking humans. Oh, hello. Yeah, I agree. Sometimes they hit you with a double whammy like that. I think it's just random when they do. I don't really see that many patterns in their behavior, so I usually just get caught by it anyway. Kick you down. Now, I know that there are other ways to attack. Like, if I hold the action button, then it does an overhead swing. And I think you can even, like, swing back and forth. Yeah, if you just consistently mash the action button, you'll swing back and forth like this. Maybe I should be doing that. I think that's faster. This is somewhat of an animation-based combat system. Kind of like Dark Souls, but not really. I mean, it's not as hard as that game is, of course. Hi, I hear you. I'll go fight you in a little bit. For now, pick up this health drink, and then I will drink it, because I am still damaged. And there's no reason not to, right? Okay. Where are you? Where are you, buddy? Hello? Alright. I'm ready for you. So when you are readying your weapon, James will lock onto enemies like that. Oh, okay, that's why. The plank is rebounding off of them, so I can't really do the back and forth swings like I thought I could. Okay. Nope. Try to get out of the way, and now, here we go. Just when James starts swinging, it's a little delayed from when you press the ready button, so... yeah, a lot of factors make the combat very, very awkward, especially at this point, but it's alright. In a way, that's kind of the point. Now, I'm personally not one that gets distressed by things like that. Like, I don't get that scared of combat being awkward and hard to do at command, because honestly, that just feels more frustrating than anything else, but I wouldn't say this combat is frustrating. It's playable enough. It feels manageable. A lot more so than it could have been. So here we have a giant wall in the way. I guess we're not going down this street anymore. I could have seen this from the beginning, but I never actually came down here. Or actually, could I have? Hi, okay. I think one good strategy is to get behind them. Because, you know, when they're breathing at you, breathing/vomiting at you, they're locked in place, so you can kind of, like, get around them. I should try that. And someone keeps sneezing in the distance. Sometimes when my dad eats a lot of, like, carbs, he'll start sneezing, like, 5 or 6 times in a row. I'm not sure why his body feels the need to do that, but it does. Oh, never mind. They do actually slowly turn towards you during that attack. It's very slow, though. Come on, keep going. I'm mashing the F key. Come on. That's my action button. That's what I have it set to. Okay. It's kind of funky how Silent Hill 2 does not explain any of the buttons in-game aside from the controls menu. I guess you were expected to read the manual. Even though this was a early 2000s game. I think it was 2001 came out. So at that point, manuals were kind of old school, but I guess that's a part of the game's horror, is that you might not know what you're doing when you get in. Absolutely no... I almost thought that said absolutely no driving in driveway. That's no parking in driveway. Absolutely no... Hi! Jeez. I guess that's the closest thing you get to a jump scare in this game. You cannot kick these ones down. They're, like, at full health. They're not ready to be finished off yet. You have to let them get up on their own and then beat them back down before you can kick them. Alright, there you go. Making a lot of freaking annoying sounds. Come on. Stand up already. Stand up and face me. Okay. Yeah, I see all there. I see all behind the vehicles. Come on. Come on. Up and at them. No, you're just gonna continue to run against the car like that? Okay, here we go. Gotcha! That's like, once you land this first hit, they're basically dead. And of course, as long as you can land the kick, which, to be fair, landing the kick might be the most awkward part of the combat as a whole. Sometimes James just refuses to do it. I don't get it. That says no parking in driveway, by the way. I don't know if I actually said that out loud, so I thought I would remind you. Spewed fuel corp. Yep, that's what it says. Speed fuel corp. God, idiot. All right. Oh, cannot walk past this. This bin marks the border between my world and out of bounds. Sorry if the camera's a little nauseating. That's just how it is. I can't do anything about that. That's just how Silent Hill 2's camera is in the original. The remake does an over-the-shoulder Resident Evil 4 style, which I do think is an improvement. I've heard a lot of arguments that it kind of removes the vibe from the original, from the camera in this game being so distant from James. By the way, I don't think we've actually heard the protagonist's name yet. His name is James Sunderland, so just a little clarification there. But yeah, the camera being kind of distant from James makes him feel like a separate entity from us, whereas, you know, the over-the-shoulder camera makes him feel like we're one and the same, and that may not be exactly the intention of Silent Hill 2, but we'll get more into this as we go. Smack! Screw your Happy Burger menu. Can't go inside, can't grab a burger. Even though burgers are 99 cents, I wish we lived in that world. Inflation has hit us hard. I mean, I guess 99 cents is technically, like, worth more in the past, right? I don't know when exactly this game takes place. It seems to be the 90s. Like, 80s or 90s. There are TVs. Otherwise, yeah, I'm not really sure. Okay, let's go to Saul. We better call him. Better call Saul. I would like to explore everything in the outdoor area of Silent Hill within this video before we move on, so... We are going to be spending a lot of time in this foggy town, so if you're not okay with that, then... Sorry. I'll do better next time. I'm just kidding, I won't. Chiropractic and Sports Injury Center. Specifically, only sports injuries. If you're injured in any other way, screw you. We're not serving you. Oh yeah! I remember this being kind of cool. These traffic lights actually work. They'll turn green and they'll eventually turn yellow and red. Not like there were any cars to direct, but they do actually function. If you stand around, you can watch them change. God, younger me would have loved that. I used to be obsessed with traffic lights as a kid. I remember I even had... My mom actually, like, wrote a program that, like, simulated the appearance of a traffic light, and I messed around with that thing all the time. It was so fun. It was based on this traffic light in my kindergarten that they put up in the cafeteria. Another big blockade. Where are these coming from? Why are these here? I don't know. I don't get this. Maybe this town's quarantined. Maybe there's an outbreak of something here and the town's quarantined. And they got every single entrance to the town except the one we took. They didn't consider the freaking, like, graveyard, Wilts Road entrance. But yeah, it was based on this, like, warning light in the cafeteria of my kindergarten where if all of us students were too loud, it would detect all the noise and then turn yellow and then eventually turn red and make a sound like, you're being too loud! I remember they installed that during the year I was there. I remember being scared of it at first and, like, not wanting to look up at it, but over time I got, like, more infatuated with it. If infatuated is the right word. Interested. And then I started kind of an obsession with traffic lights from that point on. Hey man, I'm on the spectrum, what can I say? Let's see, what were my other obsessions? There was elevators at one point, and there is an elevator in this game you get to ride, and I would have also loved that if I had played Silent Hill 2 back in the day. That said, though, I would have been probably shit scared of this game if I played it when I was a kid, so I'm glad I didn't. Okay. That's just an unremarkable building. Here we have a fenced-in area with a bunch of barrels. Another license plate, 38GW764. Calling the police right now. This car was stolen. Okay, that door is locked. So the interesting thing about locked doors, if we look on the map, they are marked with a straight line and not the squiggly. Not the one that looks like Charlie Brown's eyebrows, I think, right? No, not eyebrows. His shirt. His Charlie Brown's shirt, not his eyebrows. I don't know why. I don't know why I remember his eyebrows looking like that. They don't. His shirt. Those are places you cannot go at all. Speaking of places you cannot go, this is not one of them. This trailer. This is an interior you actually can explore. What does that note on the couch say? Hello? What does that note on the couch say? I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the note on the couch. What does that say? There's a memo lying on the sofa. Sorry, memo, not note. I'll wait at bar Neely's. That's called Neely's Bar? But whatever, I know what you mean at least. Save the game here? I know, I'm saving to the same save file. It's heresy. I'm aware. Now, I think New Game Plus does add another weapon that I saw in a screenshot you can obtain here. I don't see it here for me. I wasn't going to pick it up anyway, but like, just a little note. Of course, I don't want to use it, though. I'm treating this as if it's the first playthrough. And I think there are only, like, a few changes. There are additional items scattered around, but I'll know them when I see them, and I'll know not to bother with them. Saul Street. All right, that seemed to be all with Saul Street. And here is Neely's Bar right here. Oh, it's Neely Street. Ah, so he got to name a road and a bar after himself. Very nice. Gozo's Sushi. I've never actually had sushi. I've heard mixed opinions on it. There's some people that love it and some people that really hate it. Speed limit is 15. Wow, this really must be a small town. I guess this is a town where everyone walked around and that's why the speed limits are so low. Or maybe back in whatever era this game takes place in, 15 miles per hour speed limits were normal. Because in my city, the normal is 30, and there's like this big movement to try and change it to 20 going on. So yeah, that's very different from what's happening here. This bar is closed. Hi, traffic light. My younger self appreciates you. Yay. All right, anyway. Stompy, stompy, stomp. This door of the bar is open, though, so we can at least enter from this side. Let's see what we got here. We got another map. So those buildings don't exist. There's a path through the apartments, and there's something at the end of Martin Street. What's that symbol at the end of Martin Street? Copied it onto my own map. I like this. You have to navigate a town based on streets. I wish games did that more. Like a game that took place in a small town and you'd have to navigate somewhere based on address. You'd have to find the street and then find the house number. I think that'd be such a great navigational puzzle. There was a hole here. It's gone now. Your guess is as good as mine. But yeah, I think that would make such a great little navigational challenge in a game that wouldn't rely on objective markers, and I'd like to see a game try that. Silent Hill comes the closest, by far. Silent Hill Tavern. Doesn't look like the font a tavern should be using. Giga Microsystems. Do they have, like, gigabyte drives in there? I don't know. Clock Repair? That's a very specific repair shop, but I suppose that makes sense. Alright, we got two of these guys here. Fighting two enemies in this game at once is a terrible experience, and I would not recommend it. Again, just like Dark Souls, but unlike Dark Souls, the enemies in this game don't even freaking try to fight back. Kick you in the head. Okay, well, they do try, but, you know, that emphasis on try. Don't worry, they get scarier as we go. Bonk. Some newsstands. Can we read the latest news about Silent Hill? I mean, after seeing what's going on, I would probably want to seek sources of news, like newspapers, so we can read more about what's happening. Unless there aren't any. Silent Hill Auto Parts. Yeah, maybe all the newspapers don't actually mention this outbreak, whatever's happening. American Cafe and Caterer? Alright. Nothing there. Let's see where I am. Okay, so we have this area here. Let's go down here first. There is a note out in this in the town somewhere that I haven't seen. I might call it a city on accident, even though it's technically it's just a small town. This ain't a city. This is just a little town. But you know what I mean. At least you should. What's this? Handgun bullets. That sounds good. Can I get a gun, please? All right, can't break anything with our melee weapon. If you're wondering about that, having seen the Silent Hill 2 remake, no, you cannot do that in this original version. Bliss. Okay. What in the hell is that sound? Well, I'll tell you what that sound is. That sound is a spider, a cockroach, a little bug. You can kick it to kill it. That's it. I don't know why they make such a loud freaking sound. Maybe to warn about the people who are afraid of bugs ahead of time. Hey, there's a bug here. Watch out, watch out. Okay, I think while they're walking towards you, they have to stop and wait for a little bit before they can attack, and that's usually the best time to strike. Okay. I lost my train of thought. I don't remember what I was talking about before I clarified that I might call this town a city. So, sorry about that. All right, well, here should be the Woodside Apartments. You've seen on the map. No trespassing. No trespassing. Yeah, it's locked. So someone really doesn't want us trespassing. Oh, God, there's two right here. Okay, let's center the camera. I might get hit a couple times here. It's all right. They have restrictions put in place, it seems. Okay, come on. Stay right there, thank you. He did bite me a little bit, that one did. Or it did. Kick you? How am I? I'm fine. Just need a little drink, you know? Or actually, I have more first aid kits. Why don't I just use one of those? You're wasting your supplies! Don't worry. This game gives you plenty of items. Like, more than enough. Way more than enough. And there might actually be a good reason for that. The door that wakes in darkness, opening into nightmares. Seems to be asleep right now. Alright, with this other dead end we have here, we do at least have potential paths to go down. Let's go to the end of this road, and then we'll make our way to Martin Street in the middle, and then we'll have done a big circuit around the main center of town, so yeah. Forgive me for not absorbing every last detail. I would like these videos to actually, like, you know, move on. I will say, there are some, there are some YouTube Let's Players out there who, you know, they play games blind for the first time. That's their main draw, is that they're like, here's a famous, well-known game that I'm playing for the very first time. But then, when I watch them, they're taking everything in, like, so much, to the point they go at about 1 mile a year through the game. And, well, that's fine. If that's how they want to play games, I'm not gonna get on their case about it, but I just don't find those videos particularly fun to watch because they go so freaking slow. I think, actually, no, I was gonna say an example. I don't want to actually name any names, though, because I don't want to make it sound like I'm hating on them. I'm not. They have their own video style. In fact, that was honestly a lot of my early videos. A lot of my videos were slower paced going in. What does that say? I love groovy music. But, you know, as I've gone on with YouTube, I have tried to make my videos more and more, like, fast-paced. Come on, up and at him. No, come on. Let's fight, let's fight. Nope, come back here. Come back here. Fine. I'm just gonna move on then. But yeah, I remember there's this one person who was playing Deus Ex for the first time, and I was like, let me check this out. And they were like, at every little, like, menu screen, they were stopping and pondering over every little line of text, and eventually, I mean, that's the type of video I'd rather listen to in the background than watch. That's just me, though. That's just my opinion. These guys are being so annoying. Can one of you just stand up? Can one of you just stand up for yourself already? You can do it. I know it. I believe in you. I think you can actually whack them when they're on the ground with the overhead attack. I should try doing that. There we go. And like I've said, though, you can't kick them. I've tried. Alright, I guess they're just gonna stay over there. While they're doing that, let's take a look at this guy. And this note next to him, or this journal. A memo pad on the ground. James, that's called a journal. I'm going to read everything that I've learned so far. Maybe that will help you out somehow. If you're reading this, it probably means I'm already dead. Okay, I assume you've left clues here. I saw those demons. They were there, I'm certain. But my friend says he didn't see anything. If that's true, does that mean that what I saw was an illusion? But whether that demon that ate human beings was real, or whether it was just some kind of hallucination that my mind dreamed up, one thing I know for sure is that I'm beyond all hope. It seems they're attracted to light. That's why people who need light to see are their natural prey. They also react strongly to sound. If you want to go on living, you'd be better off just sitting in the dark and staying quiet, but even that probably won't save you. So, are they less aggressive if you have the radio turned off? That's actually a little interaction I never thought of. It's because I've never really needed to think of it. If you're going to try to fight them, the most important thing is to relax. It's dangerous to fire a gun while you're all crazy with fear. Take good aim, and then squeeze the trigger. And don't forget to finish them off. I think most of those creatures can be killed, even if they are tougher than people. Run away, 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 run away. Run away. I guess it's hinting towards the fact that you don't have to kill enemies, you can just fight them. Or you can just run past them, I mean. Can't make it to the park this way, have to find another way. Damn it. Silent Hill is making navigation very difficult, I have to say. Not just the fog, but all these freaking walls and cars and crap everywhere. This is not the experience I expected revisiting James's freaking nostalgic place from the past. That's the best word I had to describe it. Phrase, I guess. Those doors have inconsistent window sizes. I'm very disappointed in that building designer. Silent Jewelers. This reminds me of a town near where I live called Stillwater, Baby's Closet. And, like, every other freaking shop in that town is named after Stillwater, has Stillwater featured in the name. I get it, you're proud of your town, you're a local business, you have no other ideas for a name, but like, man. It feels like going around that whole town needed to constantly remind you where you were. Welcome to Stillwater, this is Stillwater. Did you know this is Stillwater? Now Silent Hill is doing the same thing. Big J's. This does honestly kind of give a nostalgic feeling, though. Just, you know, this small town. It reminds me of all the small towns I've been to on road trips and, you know, outings out with my family, including the town of Stillwater that I just mentioned. Alright, yep. Come on. Pow. 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 Can I was trying to do an overhead attack there. I failed. And now it's gone. Now it's gone. Now it's gone. Okay, it's over here somewhere. Camera, you could be a little more helpful. I'm just saying. Why are you going down this? Come back here. Come the frick back here. Can I kick you? Not anymore. It seems you've healed too much. They will eventually regenerate. Get back up. I think they can, like, you can beat them down again and eventually they will die. But it's hard. I'm not used to doing the overhead attacks. Bear with me. There we go. Okay, it's still alive. Get back here. No. You bit me. You bit my toes. You're actually getting back up after that? There we go. Yeah, see, you have to, like, beat them down 2 different times to kill them. They're not dead until the radio static goes away. A lot more of them. Is there anything down this alley? We were just here, so I would have seen, but it doesn't seem to be. Where is this? Okay, this is just connects to Sanders Street. I don't remember exactly what's here, but okay, there's cockroaches apparently. That's good to know. Hi, cockroaches. What's up? Ooh, health drink. I want that. I think I am. Yeah, I am somewhat injured. That wasn't enough to get me back to green. There we go. That was. That's what I mean. You can easily get hit from these first enemies with just the melee weapon, and you don't have a lot of healing at this point. So, like, combat is pretty scary and might honestly be worth avoiding. That's why I have been ignoring a lot of the enemies, just because they're a bit out of the way. You don't really have to kill them. Hi. You're the culprit. I got bit by the freaking cockroach. Come on. I will squash you! There we go. I guess I didn't squash it. Alright, time to use a first aid kit after being bit by a fucking bug. To be fair, there are some bugs that can do some damage. Red ants can draw blood, apparently, so I've heard. Haven't actually been bit by one before, but I hear they do bite, and they are ferocious about it. I got breathed. Brush your teeth next time, damn. I think these guys' names, these are known as the lying figures. Whoa, okay. Ow. Ow. I don't think they're ever referred to officially in-game. Just from, like, outside material, but that's what they're called, from what I've heard. It's either that or it's, like, living figures, something like that. I don't know. Down Martin Street we now head. I think this is the last road we haven't been on, so... You hear more cockroaches, might just ignore them after the run around that last one gave me. I don't feel like doing that again. Door. Can't interact. There are no interiors to explore, it's so sad. The PlayStation 2 couldn't handle buildings. Hello? What's up? What's up, homie? Pow. 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 I am facing the wrong way, but I'm still hitting you, so it works. So, what if I went for an overhead attack when they're knocked down there? Over here we have another dead body. Now, if we look carefully at this dead body, they look a little familiar. But I'll speak more on that another time. Apartment gate key. This is the key to the Woodside Apartments. It has the name stapled on there. Mary, I'm coming for you. Drink that. There we go. Good thing that I was able to heal enough to get back to green. camera. Thank you. I believe I've been everywhere on the map. Yeah, we've been down there, we've been down to the dead ends of every single road. There's no reason to head back to the entrance where we came in. So, yeah, there's nothing else to do but to go to the Woodside Apartments. And that shall be where I end this first video. I don't know how long this has been, because there's a pretty big chunk of time at the beginning and in the middle when I looked at the chainsaw that I am going to be cutting out, but yeah. I think this is enough content for one video. Sail! Only that mattered. Is there any other, like, interesting place I wanted to take a look at? Ah, yes! Here's something I missed. This cafe! Cafe missed! Alright, sorry. Had to get that pun out before we continued. Mother said, straight ahead, don't fall astray or be misled. And then you will get to the Woodside Apartments. And then find the secrets of the universe. That storm drain has blood surrounding it. Did I kill an enemy there, or... do the sewers have the blood of everyone who died traveling through them? That probably would happen in an apocalyptic situation like this. With all the blood that's everywhere, there probably would end up in the sewers, so that makes sense. Okay. Up at the gate now. Use the apartment gate key. Most keys are used automatically. There are some keys, however, that you will have to open the menu and click use on, like this use button, in order to use. It's a little weird and inconsistent, but it's no big deal. Now inside, we have trespassed upon the premises of Woodside Apartments. We have this outdoor area to check out first, before I head inside. Garbage. No use for that. Secretly, that was an item description of me in real life. I'm joking. I know I'm not garbage. I'm incinerated garbage. I don't know. I don't know what that means. This door's locked. So I guess we'll have to take the only other door we see. And these are all like big garage doors. None of them open. Probably doors to the parking garage that you're not allowed to park inside, because that's a no parking sign right there. I would know it. I have that sign hanging off of my bedroom door. Let's go on in. Yay! A souvenir health drink! And another save point. That shall be where I end things today. I guess I'll make a new file just because we're moving on to video number 2. Or... no, actually, I'm not really sure. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna save right here. And next time on Silent Hill 2, we're gonna explore the Woodside Apartments and see if we can't find out what the hell's going on in this place. Thank you all for watching if you did, and as always, I will see you all in the future. This camera looks really cool. Okay, it stopped.